This lack of accountability and transparency has resulted in both promoting corruption and manipulation of the criminal justice system. Corruption Report, U.S. Embassy, Baghdad.
Welcome back to Inside Iraq. We continue our discussion now with two Iraq experts. Maysoon al-Damaluji is an Iraqi member of parliament, and Sabah al-Mukhtar is the president of the Arab Lawyers Association in London. Welcome to Inside Iraq. Maysoon al-Damaluji, what is the point of creating an independent commission for public integrity if the Prime Minister's office, as well as other ministers, they're impeding every investigation and nobody is being responsible or behind bars?
Well, I totally agree with you. The problem is that I find with this commission is that it was politicized from day one, and there was too many influences within it. Before I became a member of parliament, I was part of the executive authority in Iraq. I was the deputy minister of culture for 2.5 years, and I worked hard to support the Commission of Public Integrity within the ministry itself. However, unfortunately, and the Ministry of Culture was one of the poorest ministries, so corruption was not financial anyway. There was other kinds of corruption probably. But unfortunately, what happened when anyone was accused, they were thrown in prison, detained immediately. DJs were detained for 2 or 3 months without being taken to court. Things lingered. I mean, it was mostly on the media. There was everything became a public scandal, and so the Commission of Public Integrity, although they were well intended, but they lost a lot of their support by honest and hardworking people who. And anyway, the Iraqi bureaucratic system had a monitoring authority to start with, which is called the Financial Monitoring Directorate.
The occupation and the invasion created a culture of cash from day one, and right now corruption has become endemic. How convenient it is for the Iraqi politicians as well as the coalition bloc to divide this cake among them without any accountability?
Well, the country has been raped anyway. So the losing finances, having raped the country, destroyed the institutions, destroyed the army, destroyed the social structure of the country. It's not left for the money. At the present moment, birds alike fly together. The American corruption with the stooges, the puppet regime, which was appointed by the Americans, are flying together because they are both made of the same caliber. So there is nothing new about this one.
Maysoon, can the Maliki government sustain itself? Can al-Maliki stay in power without this corruption?
Well, I don't think things can remain the way they are now at the moment. Obviously, corruption is widespread in Iraq. It started before the invasion. In Saddam's time, oil was being sold in the black market, and as we all know, the coupons, the oil coupons that were given to Saddam's stooges at the time. You see, there is already another commission in Iraq which is in charge of financial monitoring, which should have more powers. It is called Raqab al-Maliya, which everybody knows and respects. It should be given more power. The monitoring of both these commissions and others should be done by the parliament and without any interference by the executive authority and the government.
Sabah, if the first commission failed, why would the second one succeed?
It's nothing to do with any commission. At the present moment, when you put the wolves to shepherd the lambs, you don't expect anything to go straight. Therefore, it is not a matter of trying to get a commission to find out where the corruption is or putting limits on the companies or the others not to be corrupt, because the whole system is corrupt from A to Z. That is the problem. You can change any commission you have. You have the Iraqi National Audit Office. You have this commission. You can have a few other commissions, but it's not going to make any difference because the system, the institution, the people who are in charge are all doing exactly what they came to do, and that is to rape Iraq.
We heard the Judge Radi saying that the ministers, including the Prime Minister's office, they're relying on paragraph B, Article 136 of the Iraqi criminal trial procedure law in order to give the capacity to any minister to close an investigation. As a member of parliament, Maysoon, shouldn't that be subservient to the Constitution and to this independent commission that was created by the Constitution?
Yes, well, I totally agree with you. As I said, unfortunately, the commission was politicized from day one. Judge Radi was asked to attend Parliament more than once, and he was questioned about quite a few allegations on himself and the commission. There's a complete lack of trust between the different powers and commissions, parliament, government, and all this. This, unfortunately, we inherited from the previous regime. I'm trying to answer Mr. Sabah, what he said. All what we're going through is a direct result of what we inherited from Saddam Hussein's corruption, the complete despotic situation that he left us with.
Sabah, how convenient it is to blame all the ills on the former regime. Corruption was endemic in Iraq because of the sanction, but in 4 short years, Iraq jumped from number 64 to number 3 on the top of the chart of the Transparency International. Is it convenient for the Iraqi politicians to say, well, we inherited what was during Saddam's regime?
Well, quite frankly, this fig leaf doesn't wash anymore. First of all, it doesn't wash with the American masters. The Americans in the USA, they know this is not true. The Americans are doing this exercise, having Judge Radi there, to play the internal politics between the Democrats and the Republicans, to the extent that they wouldn't even allow the information to be in the media claiming national interest. How could the information about corruption in a third world country, in another country, affect the national interest of America? Is not, it beats anybody's understanding. But certainly, I don't think neither the Americans nor the regime in Baghdad should be relying on the bad situation that was before as if it is the yardstick that they work from, because in theory, this regime came to bring democracy, freedom, and transparency to Iraq, as well as rule of law, after having accused the previous regime of all these ills. To say now that it's better than before, I don't think it's really a very good way of answering.
The leaked memo that we referred to a couple of times, Maysoon, talks about that the Iraqi government is riddled with criminals and corruption. As member of the legislative branch, when you hear that blistering indictment, what comes to mind? How do you view this? The Iraqi government is riddled with criminals.
Well, as I said, I mean, we're there to correct the situation. This situation has been going downhill, unfortunately, since 1968, and was made worse by a number of foreign sanctions imposed against Iraq. This is the kind of society that we are trying to build. We received a society in 2003 that was I mean, completely riddled with corruption and ills and all kinds of social diseases, as you and Mr. Sabah very well know. We are trying to build. This is the only thing we can do at the moment. We are trying to rid society of these ills. The parliament is in charge of monitoring the government and other institutions within Iraq. We never thought the work is going to be easy, and we never thought that things would be corrected or amended overnight.
Except for the fact the previous government, they never said we are democracy and we are transparent. Maysoon al-Damaluji, member of the Iraqi parliament, Sabah al-Mukhtar, president of the Arab Trial Lawyers Association, thank you very much. To access the show and to send us your comments, please go to aljazeera.net/English. We have reached the end of this show. Join me next week when we take another look inside Iraq. Goodbye.